Hey everybody, I'm Steve Green with Bill Whittle and Scott Ott, and this is your Right Angle Lightning Round, brought to you by the members of BillWhittle.com. Folks, if you're new to the Lightning Round concept, instead of going deep into one story where we've kind of hashed out behind the scenes on the backstage show what it is we want to ask and what it is we want to say, I have in my possession a list of topics that Bill and Scott have no idea what they are, and I'm just going to hit them with these headlines and get their very hottest takes. So without further ado, let's see. Bill, according to my notes, we're starting with you this week. I think I mentioned on my regular segment that I spend my mornings when I'm doing Insanity Rap deep in the bowels of left-wing Twitter. And I came across the wokest wokeness that anybody ever woke up. I'm going to read this to you, and together maybe we can suss out what was meant here. I don't give a single blank, they used a bad word, about how you feel, but unless you're a-spec, you're allosexual. If you're not aerospec, you're alloromantic. If you're not a-spec or aerospec, then you're effing allo. There is no debate here. Bill, I think there is a debate here. What the hell are those words?
No, there's no debate. I think the issue is completely clear. They've stated their position as plainly as possible, and I don't think there's much arguing with that. I have one response to this. I saw this story earlier on Insanity Rap. I have one response to this. I don't know why I'm going here, but this is where I'm going. I did 4 spec script for Cheers during the last year that the show was on the air. None of them ever got on the air, but I wrote 4 of them. And I was at a taping once as an invited guest, and I was at a taping, and it was an episode where Cliff Clavin has crossed a beet with a rutabaga, and it's called a beetabaga. And he goes up to somebody, and he's got this tray, and he puts it in front of him, and he says, beetabaga. Beeta, let me try one more time. He puts the plate down in front of him and says, Beta, fajita, pita. And the woman says, I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. And that's my response to this. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
Somewhere in Spain or Mexico or Argentina, somewhere in the Spanish-speaking world, somebody's head just exploded. Literally exploded, just like a scene out of Scanners.
Ooh, so does that, whoever tweeted that, are they also hostile toward me if I'm ovoviviparous?
Are they always are they hostile? You could have stopped. Are they hostile? You could have just stopped right there. Answer, yes. The
right
answer
there.
Is yes. Yes.
Yes, indeed. 11 years we've been doing this show together. That might be our first David Cronenberg reference. I'm so very proud of myself right now. All right, Scott, let's go to you. The Media Research Center reports CNN defends Georgia Democrat Raphael Warnock's pro-abortion anti-Semitic sermons. He's the Senate candidate down there on the D side.
Isn't he a reverend something?
Ignored the abusive kids camp that he ran. Is there a legal case, Scott, to be made that truth in advertising laws already require that organizations like CNN and NBC News remove the word news from their names?
No, because politicians and journalists are exempted from all moral clauses of all legislation.
But of course.
Yeah, remember the old days when they said that you could get on like a do not call list and you could get your name so that telemarketers would stop hammering you with spam calls. That was specifically written. The politicians wrote into that legislation that they are not included in the people who are not allowed to violate the do not call registry. And they've always been very protective of their public relations agency, otherwise known as CNN or MSNBC or Fox News or whichever side of the aisle you happen to be on. So, the truth in advertising went out the window a long time ago. There's advertising in advertising, and what is it's not carpe diem, it's
caveat emptor.
Caveat emptor. Yeah, thank you. There are 2 Latin phrases about which I am vaguely familiar. And caveat emptor, let the buyer beware, was something that they actually talked about in journ school when I was studying for a degree in journalism, which I think requires you to get all your liberal arts credits and then nearly a full additional credit in journalism. to be able to be qualified as a journalist. So yeah, if you're not already taking that caveat emptor approach that let the buyer beware when you are watching news, when you're reading news, then that you're just, how do they say that in the Baptist church? Bless your heart.
I love that. And you know what? It just occurs to me now, Scott, I totally blew a chance with that truth in advertising thing for a perfectly good Dr. Jill Biden gag. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just slow today. Bill, back to you. Oh, I can't remember where I got this headline, but I really want to put it back. New York State Governor Cuomo says Santa will be good to him this year because he worked so hard. And you know, maybe he did, but I think that Governor Cuomo made it look easy killing thousands of elderly people in nursing homes.
Well, Santa's going to be good to him because Santa's going to have a lot of extra presents for elderly people that he's not able to deliver, thanks to Mario Cuomo. They're all going down his chimney.
Andrew.
And Andrew, I don't care.
Mario's
it's all the
dead,
same crime family to me. You know, it's like one's the consigliere, the other one's the capo, and I don't give a damn about all of it. What a horrible, horrible, horrible man. Santa's going to be good to him this year. Well, I hope Santa is good to him because his ultimate residence, he's going to need some air conditioning, and he's you know, this isn't even actually funny.
I know
it really isn't. I mean, it's just actually not. I just don't know what to say about once again, we have no problems in this country. We have no problems in this country, none except one. We have no press, and that's it. That's the only problem we had. If we had a functioning free press, this man would be in prison, or at the very least, he'd be run out of office and never be able to show his face again. But no, that's not how it works. Cuomo, Newsom, all of them should be in well, they should be residents of their own state's institutions. Let's just put it as simply as I possibly can.
Yeah. Impeachment followed by removal from office, followed by charges of negligent homicide would be my preference for Andrew Cuomo there. Scott, last headline for you. Oh, no. I forgot about this one. College. This is the Wellness Center at St. Olaf College in Minnesota. Says to avoid kissing during sex to help stop COVID-19. And I swear they're not making this up. They specifically reference to avoid kissing during partnered sex. And I think we ought to be giving out medals to people who manage kissing during unpartnered sex. Don't you?
You know, I have a college education. There's a diploma around here somewhere that indicates that I spent 4 years in an institution of higher learning. But I can't tell you how many times you brought a story to me that was emanating from academia in which I just had no idea what you're talking about.
And here's another one.
Yeah. I mean, what are these people even thinking? And again, you know, I know I sound like a geezer if I say something like this, but the fact that academia has basically not just given up on the idea that maybe young people should wait until they're in a committed long-term relationship to have intimate relations, but they're actually like giving them lessons on how to kind of screw up your life in advance. Like, we're not just saying... What we're saying is we want you to have sex, okay? We're not the buzzkills that you think we are. We want you to go find that girl that you just met tonight and have sex with her immediately, assuming she gives you permission in writing, preferably with her attorney nearby. And if both of you activate the app that airdrops your permission documentation to each other, we want you to do that. But dear God, please don't kiss. Do you realize how dangerous that is? You know, you're just picturing all these irresponsible teenagers, but who are responsible enough to wear a mask when they're having sex with somebody they just met.
Oy vey. All right, last headlines for me. The World Health Organization pledges not to find a guilty party in their probe of COVID-19 in China. In other words, their investigation is an investigation. The World Health Organization is now a wholly owned subsidiary of the Chinese Communist Party. Those SOBs. I just want to be clear here, and I wrote this down because I want to make sure that I say this absolutely correctly and as clearly as I possibly can. The Wuhan virus is called that because it originated in Wuhan, which is a city in communist China, and was allowed to spread internationally by the Chinese Communist Party. Now, if it seems like that I'm finding a guilty party, in this case with a capital P, you better believe I am. And that is your Right Angle Lightning Round, brought to you by the members of BillWhittle.com. Just one more reminder for 2020. that content like this needs sponsors like you. So click on over to BillWhittle.com, make a one-time donation, become a regular member. Either way, we'd love to have you aboard. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.